President Trump and his allies face new challenges about the FBI raid of the office of Michael Cohen. That's the president's personal attorney. In court yesterday, Cohen revealed another of his clients. That was Fox News host Sean Hannity. The network today says Hannity continues to have our full support. Joining me now is Larry O'Connor, Washington Times columnist and host of The Larry O'Connor Show on WMAL.
I need to use you for my opening now. That's good.
That's right. Michael Cohen, president's attorney, provided counsel, apparently, to Fox News host Sean Hannity. It blew up yesterday on all cable news. The question being, should he have disclosed his relationship with Michael Cohen?
Yeah, and I think that there's two answers to that question, actually. Should he have, from some sort of legal or ethical journalistic perspective? I think the jury's out on that, honestly, because I don't think anyone really considers Sean Hannity to be a capital J journalist. He is an opinion journalist, I suppose. His job is to give his commentary and his opinion, and I think his audience knows that he already has a perspective.
But they didn't know that
Correct.
he had a direct relationship with Michael Cohen.
And that's where my answer is yes to the other part of the question, which is out of basic respect to his audience, out of respecting your audience enough to know that they're wise enough to be able to ingest all this information and then take your opinion and your analysis and your commentary within that perspective. But here's the important thing. As you well know in this town, with journalists and politicians and elected officials, it's incestuous. I mean, how far do we take that standard? Two stories that drove everyone crazy yesterday. Hannity should have disclosed his relationship with Cohen. And the other story they were crazy about was James Comey's interview with George Stephanopoulos. One of the things George Stephanopoulos asked Comey about was his investigation into Hillary Clinton's emails. Well, did George Stephanopoulos disclose that he used to be the senior White House advisor to President Bill Clinton, that he continued to be a major donor to the Clinton Foundation? He didn't disclose those things.
You're saying there's a double standard.
There is a huge double standard here. Now, again, don't get me wrong. If I were Sean Hannity, I've commented, I knew Steve Bannon. I worked with Steve Bannon. Whenever I commented on Steve Bannon or analyzed things, I always threw out to my audience, by the way, I used to work with the guy, I know him. So my audience knows. So they understand and they can contextualize.
What's the expiration date for Stephanopoulos?
Well, as far as I know, he was still donating to the Clinton Foundation up until 2 years ago. So I don't think there is an expiration date, frankly, as long as Hillary and Bill and the Clinton family are still in the news. But it goes even further than that. Ben Rhodes was the Deputy National Security Advisor to Barack Obama. His brother, David Rhodes, is the president of CBS News. Does everyone on CBS News have to disclose that before they start talking about Obama's national security?
I think that's a stretch. It was his brother. But it is a fascinating point, especially for audiences who are looking at news organizations trying to figure out what's real and what's not.
I would like news organizations to start hiring broadcasters because they're really good journalists instead of their connections they have to politicians. If they start avoiding that part of it, because that seems to be what they're doing, then they'll actually get people that don't have those connections.
It's all about the big get in journalism.
That's right.
If you have a connection to a politician, you can get that politician on the show. Larry O'Connor, Washington Times columnist, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.